All right, guys. Today we celebrate an anniversary. It's 4 years. 4 years ago today, I started this YouTube channel, broadcasting my life around the world. There's no script. There was just an idea, a God given talent to communicate, the work ethic to refine it, um, the tenacity to be consistent, the willingness to be a little bit creative, and the promptness of a reply to a comment. Andre, great to see you, building relationships. And here we sit 4 years later. I have over 6 million views on my channel, and I have made YouTube not just a hobby, but a sustainable side hustle. Currently, I make between $2,000 to $3,000 per month, depending on the views, depending on the supplemental income with memberships or super chats. But the base foundation of making money on YouTube is the views. When I get a video that goes semi-viral, a RV review, or just one of my regular videos, the biggest video I think I have now is about 400,000 views or so. And so, but I have over 3,000 videos. Most videos get probably between 500 to 1,000 views. So being a YouTuber, okay, is like being a boxer. You're really, in most fights, are not going to get a knockout, and most champions are able to overcome by going the distance, okay, by going with body blows, and then when you weaken the opponent, the knockout blow. And so it is the consistency, but it's also, look, the willingness to make it a job, the ability to have some level of gift of communication or creativity, and then you get a little bit of sprinkled luck. But I would say that the two ingredients of being a YouTuber is consistency, number one, a level of ability, number two, and three, treating it with the respect of a job, showing up every day. If you just do videos when you want, you're not going to be YouTube famous. You're going to be YouTube social. And there's nothing wrong with that. Most of my social media, though, even when I had social media in my private accounts, I used it kind of as an inspirational thing. And those who know me in my private life know that. And then I felt like, I just felt like I didn't want to force my view on my friends that I grew up with on my Facebook, Instagram, or whatever, because, look, when you share your life publicly, I touch on all topics, political, religious, but mainly my YouTube channel was mainly to document me selling my house, living in my car, with the dream to get to Florida, cut my bills in half, to be financially free, maybe even retire early. And really, that's the heart of my channel, still is. But throughout your journey, throughout your dreams, you're going to have to sprinkle a little bit of politics and religion in it if you want it to be a somewhat reality of life. If you're doing YouTube just as a gimmick, then obviously avoid the hot topic issues and just let it be the content that's the gimmick of your channel. But, this is kind of like a reality channel, probably realer than the Kardashians in some regards. And I'm able to do YouTube as a side hustle. I have a main job in the IT industry. I've worked all my life, and I have other options to do side hustles. And because I have that freedom, I can be who I want. I can make videos about what I want. But I'm not just aiming at the win. I'm not shadowboxing. Each video has a structured topic. It has allocated time to speak on that topic. A regular video, most of them between 10 to 15 minutes. The live feeds, the first 10 minutes or so, I hit on the structured topic. Then we go to all live comments. And you build up gradually over time. But, YouTube can go away. It's an independent contractor job. If YouTube went away as far as paying you, I would still be a consumer. Because I still think YouTube's a valuable resource to get information, whether a tutorial on how to change a toilet or a video about finances or a video about living in your car, about anything. like everything, you don't just take everything that's broadcasted on YouTube as gospel, okay? Because YouTube is just another form of media. It's just another form of sharing. Everything in life needs to be tested, and everything in life, you need to put your own twist on it and take from it what you can. But overall, has YouTube been worth it for me? Overall, yes. It's definitely had its good and bad, not just good. I've definitely wanted to quit. Even I would say within the past year, even after I got my channel monetized and I got over 10,000 subs, I still want to quit at times. Even tonight, would I rather go live or, well, look, my channel will evolve. I don't think I'll be living in my car 5 years from now. I don't. I think probably be some type of home base, because probably at this time of night, what I'd like to do is go for another walk around the community and not be broadcasting from an all-night gas station or finding somewhere I could broadcast from. I would like to do my daily routine, and then at the comfort in my home where I'm not worried about the cops or people in the parking lot, to be able to share. Now, when I share from a home base, it's not going to be as intense as an all-night gas station, so that's. But again, I have liberty to decide my life, not let YouTube decide my life. When you become YouTube famous, if you put all your eggs in that basket, what's going to happen is the viewers will decide your life. You won't decide your life. And I see a lot of people, especially nomads, get caught in that algorithm where, for them making decisions, a big part of it is YouTube. I think about YouTube somewhat, but not to the point where it prioritizes my life. YouTube has a priority in my life, but it's not above my own self-care. It's not above my main job. It's not above different things, but it plays a part. I do think, look, from a tax deduction standpoint, it'd be more tax-friendly to get an RV. I could write most of that off because it's channel-related content. And that actually, in some ways, be more financially advantaged to me than buying a home base. And I think about that, I'm not going to lie. And that's why, even though a Class B would be a waste of money a little bit, being that now, like I say, it could change, but right now I make between $2,000 to $3,000 a month, pre-tax, pre-expense. I have to find, obviously you want some write-offs. You don't want to just be paying a glutton of tax for no reason. So if I bought an RV and if I stayed at RV parks and all that, I deduct most of that. However, again, do I want to live my life for that? No. Am I going to travel around the country for content? No. I'm going to mainly be myself, always be myself, because I know the Lord giveth, or YouTube giveth, and take it away. YouTube can say tomorrow they're paying you. People can find me non-interesting tomorrow. They leave you. I understand that. So that's why I tell you, build your career, build your life, because when you have a skill set like electrician, a plumber, a truck driver, a nurse, a project manager, when you have skill sets, and when you know how to use software, when you know how to use hardware, when you're willing to work, okay. And again, YouTube is a level of work. It may be a little bit different than work, but if you don't treat it like work, again, it ain't going to treat you like an employee. Because even though you're an independent contractor, you're an employee. A lot of people treat YouTube like like a gossip fest. Okay, I see gossip channels trying to make money, and that's why they living in a shared apartment on subsidized Social Security. Because it's a fucking disgrace. Okay, that's what I think. I really do. Because I think, look, if you're going to have a channel, okay, one is do what you do. Okay, because if you can have a gossip channel, to me, yeah, I know being a critic is a profession and it serves a purpose in society. But to me, there's enough critics in this world, man. I mean, there's enough YouTubers. Most YouTubers are not going to be famous, okay? They're going to be like a new employee, bat out of hell. They're going to come on the job all fired up. In 6 months, they won't be here. In 4 years, if you go on a job today, 4 years from now, 75% of the people you started that job with won't be there. Some of them will get fired. Some of them will quit. Some of them will change professions. Same thing with YouTube. Same thing with your career. Focus on yourself. Focus on yourself. Okay. When I see people not focusing on themselves, I say, this person going to go down. Okay. They're going to go down. Why? Because they're not building their life through the abundance of their story. They're building on the story of other people. And what you're going to find out is that's chasing waterfalls. Okay. It's chasing gossip. I don't like it, but this is my channel. I can speak on it. Some people like it, and some people may even make more money than me on it. Again, hey guys, look, there's a million ways to make money, and it all starts with doing something and being consistent. Okay. To me, fame, I'd rather not be famous. I've met a couple people, So far from my 4 years on YouTube, I met about 4 to 6 people in real life, and they all been positive. I just actually saw one lady. They gave me coconuts, South Florida. Shout out to her. She watching. We had a good conversation. So obviously, look, I don't tell people that I do YouTube. I really don't want too many people to know. In one sense, that's ironic. I'm glad people watch, because I wouldn't keep doing it if no one watched. So, you know, there's a hypocrisy even in that a little bit. But I manage everything. I don't just do it for the money, but I wouldn't just do it without money. I would, if I wanted to do charity, I'd do it some other type of charity. Because what I found in life is there's a million ways to do a million things. Okay. And so when you have 6 million views, that's how many I have plus on my channel, it doesn't pay livable wages. Okay. But it gives you a platform to make sustainable side hustle, to get across a message. Okay. Maybe to help others, maybe not. And to build from there, to keep building. Okay. And so what's it like after 4 years being on YouTube? Well, like everything, it's got good, it's got bad, but it's what you make it, what you put into it. Okay. What's it like after 4 years being on a job? Well, what'd you do? Did you gossip? Did you talk about, oh, this person did that, that person did that? Did you put effort? Did you get good reviews? Okay. Did you get off your ass, or did you take a nap? Okay. Did you go lurking around with all these different profiles, or did you focus on one channel, having you refine it as you go. But like I said, you know, most people are chasing fame, or they're chasing a quick buck, you know, and that's what I say, most people are going to lose money day trading. You know, Robinhood, I'm going to do a whole video on Robinhood app. I guarantee you, statistically, I can guarantee you that Robinhood, and it's funny that app is named Robinhood. Robinhood was a fictional character, supposedly based on a true life thing that happened, where a regular person would steal money from the rich and give them to the poor back in the day. That Robinhood app, named that, I guarantee you, most middle class and lower class people that are using the Robinhood app, they're losing money and giving it to Wall Street. Guarantee you. Why? Because, guys, statistically, most traders fail, 90%. So it's fact. It's not fiction. Now, you could be the 10%, but it still means 90% are giving their money. So, you know, on YouTube, you don't have to give money, but you have to give time, effort. Okay, same thing you have to give on any job. Okay. And, you know, some people say it takes money to make money. I say, look, it takes effort, consistency, and discipline to make money. It takes wisdom not to give your money back, okay? Because if you want to know how to double your money, okay, keep it in your pocket, stay away from addictions, whether drugs, gambling, or risky investments, okay, and keep making money. Because if you think you're going to work part-time and live in your car full-time, welcome to destitute life. Okay, eat out of a can, and when you're elderly, you're going to be bitching and moaning. That I would not recommend you sell your house in your 70s and live on the road. Okay, because you don't have to, guys. Not going to happen. In my opinion, do what you want. Look, when you're in your 60s, 70s, and 80s, get off the road, get stability, and then go on the road for vacation. When you're in your 20s, build your career. When you're in your 30s and 40s, you've got some established skill sets. Do side hustles like YouTube, DoorDash, or whatever, or start your own business on the side, and then build from there. Are there exceptions? There's always exceptions, but the odds are the Robinhood app is stealing from the poor and the middle class, giving to the very wealthy. The odds are most people who have a YouTube channel ain't going to make no money. The odds are that in life, to live your best life, you're going to have to beat the odds, because most people are taking a nap. Most people are eating like shit on lunch, okay? And most people are going to show up the first couple of months to their job like a bat out of hell. They won't be there 2 years from now. You can bank on it, okay? That's why I tell you, show up, stay out of trouble, be consistent, you'll get ahead, okay? But you got to avoid addictions, okay? You got to avoid laziness. You got to avoid bullshit people, gossiping, okay? Unless you want to end up in a shared apartment taking a shit on someone else who's getting... Here's two people. Let's stay positive. Let's stay positive. Let's stay positive. Stay positive. So look, guys, look, if you stay positive and you smile, you'll probably be more YouTube famous than me. That's true. But you probably won't be yourself. That's true too. So you got to find a balance. You don't want to just be violently, brutally honest for no reason. And that's why even like just now, I pulled myself back, because I said, Sam, what is that accomplishing? Not much. I pull yourself back. And bottom line is, that's my open 15-minute what it's like to be YouTube famous. I want to thank all my members. I want to thank the past, present, and future people that have ever watched this channel. I thank the grace of God for the natural ability. I believe we're born with certain natural abilities. I do believe I put in the work ethic to refine it, because I didn't just start YouTube, right? Like I did, there was a platform years ago called Ustream where you broadcast yourself for free, you didn't make any money. I had a nonprofit, I did radio ministry, I was in a church for a while that helped me refine my gift of communication. I wrote a non-published book, self-published it. I did a lot of things to refine communication. Okay. I also studied on human nature. I've also lived experience, which gives me something to share about. And obviously, again, a big part of my channel is based on minimalism, living in your car, getting to Florida. Okay. That's always probably going to be the core of it, but it evolve. Because I don't think I'll be living in my car 5 years from now. It's possible, but I doubt it. And so, for me, the most important thing, okay, is that I take care of myself well, that I overall do more good than bad as far as my output. Because look, guys, humans are like computers. You input, you output, okay? So there's always going to be inefficiencies. There's always going to be crashes, okay? Your phone doesn't work perfect all the time. Your computer, nothing works perfect, okay? So you're not going to do 100% good output, and that's like some people think, yeah, I'm young now. I could just work 6 months, leave 6 months. I could do this on the side. It's great. I could go, do exercising. I can go play sports. I can go bike ride. But what you don't realize is your output physically in your 20s is close to 100%, like 90%. In your 70s, your output physically is probably around 30%. Okay. So you're not going to have the energy to do this. You don't understand that yet. So again, in your 70s, guys, that's time to get off the road. Okay. In your 20s, time to build your life. In your 30s and 40s, then you figure out your life. Okay. But what I want to tell you, okay, everything goes away, including fame, including money. However, you don't want to live your life, okay, giving shit away, okay, because what you're going to find out is you're going to give shit away to people who are irresponsible. They can't even handle what they have. That's why in the first world country, we have government programs for those who can't take care of themselves, okay? Because when you start giving shit away, what you start doing, okay, is misallocating resources, okay? There was a parable in the Bible that everyone was given a certain amount of talent, okay? Some people took that talent, they invested in it, and they doubled their efforts. Some people didn't double their efforts as far as talent, not money per se, okay? And they made a quarter of a return, okay? And some people, they played it very cautious in life, and, they just made, like a stable savings account. But a few people didn't even use what they had, okay? And so the parable tells us for those who don't even use what they have will be taken from them and given to other people who use well what they have. As an example, I had someone write me a message the other day on my channel that they're waiting to get approved for disability, that they have a learning disability at the level of a second grader. And they gave me this hard story about all the things that they're waiting on, okay? And they don't want to work because they're afraid that they're not going to get back pay or some shit. So I said to them, look, I don't doubt your disability, but I also question you saying you have a second grade intelligence, because you just wrote me a paragraph articulated, okay, comment. You have a YouTube channel, which means you created a profile. You applied for disability. Who helped you? Look, go see a social worker and don't give me the bullshit, okay? Because a lot of people, they have some disabilities. They should get help. But a lot of people have bad character, okay? And they don't use what they have, okay? And as soon as they find an excuse not to do shit, okay, they ain't gonna be shit, okay? And they're on a hyper loop, okay, to destitution, not just financially, but emotionally, physically, every fucking way, okay? And I don't want to be around them, okay? I have no problem being around someone with a disability who's given their all in life in whatever capacity they can, okay? But I don't want to be around someone who has all their abilities, they ain't doing shit. And I don't want to be around that got disabilities, they ain't doing shit. Okay? Use what you have. Okay? And even when you have a gift, a talent, or something, it's still going to be work. Okay? Because just getting up on time is work. Okay? Avoiding addictions is work. Okay? See, for some people, guys, they're just looking to get out of work. Okay? And they're going to get right deeper into an addiction. Now you don't have to work. You get $900 a month. You do drugs every fucking day. Okay? You live with a drug addict. You smoke weed. And even though it's legal, your fucking mental health went downhill. Can't even remember what the fuck you ate yesterday. Okay? So look, guys. Okay? What I want to tell you is a lot of people in life, they're going to X themselves out. Okay? Some people will be famous. Fame, to me, you could take it or leave it. To me, I'd rather leave most of it. Money's great, but again, I don't worship at the almighty dollar. Okay, I work for it, and I'm going to enjoy it. I ain't going to feel guilty for it. Okay, but I use it as a resource for what it is. Okay, and what I can tell you is, this is my testimony after 4 years being on YouTube, what it's being like and what I've experienced. Just a glimpse. I can only share so much because I don't like to go over 15, 20 minutes. I already did that. But now we're going to go to all members' comments. Click the thumbs up. And if you don't want to, click the thumbs down. Why? Because Facebook never gave the option of thumbs down because they knew it negatively affects people psychologically. And they won't post as much. But Facebook doesn't pay you. You can use Facebook as a platform. And if you're very famous, you can get some monetization off it. I think eventually all social media platforms will get regulated. We'll have to give a certain percentage to their people who post to create content. But like I tell you guys, you ain't gonna be able to get anything in life if you're not willing to deal with thumbs down. But you can block if you live below your means. Okay, you don't have to deal with every comment. You don't deal with every person. Okay, and what you're gonna find out is the person on the other side of that thumbs down. This is not their first account. This is not their first way in life that they found out a way to fuck off, to be a nasty person. Okay, to be a lazy sloth, a contentious troublemaker. They bet someone $50 they can't start trouble. Go pour beer on that person. Fuck you. Okay. So what I want to tell you tonight, man, you want to achieve something in life, you better get rid of the toxic people. Okay. You better get rid of the unnecessary expenses. You better take care of yourself well. Okay. If you want to have a YouTube channel, no one gives a fuck about what you got in your purse if you're only going to post when your makeup's good and you look good. Because what I can tell you is this. Everything fades, including your looks. And even your personality, guys, if you get in a bad point, remember, guys, if I get really sick or if someone gets really sick, there's no personality. Then you have to go and heal. And that's why you can't depend on YouTube. YouTube don't keep paying you if you don't keep making videos. When you have a regular job, or if you're an entrepreneur, you should be paying into some level of supplemental disability, and you should be saving and or investing in stable things. Okay, why? Because, guys, fame comes and goes. Okay, and very few people, and that's why you see very famous people, guys, they go bankrupt. Okay, and look, bottom line in life, use what you have. Don't get too prideful in it because it can be taken from you. Always live below your means. Never feel guilty for what you earn. And never let someone lead and direct your life. Whether or not you have a YouTube channel, you're creating a life every day. You're the creator of your life. You may not be a YouTube creator, you're the creator of your life. What did you do today? How did you do it? What type of effort? Did you do some things you didn't want to do? You know, the biggest deception I see in life is people only do what they want to do. There's no way in life you get ahead like that. Not just financially, but physically. You think every day someone wants to go to the gym, every day you want to go for a walk, every day you want to take a shower, every day you want to brush your teeth? That's why I know people in destitution, they got free health care, but they still don't want to go see a dentist. So look, guys, you can give people free health care, free food, free housing. But when someone doesn't want to do for themselves, guys, they're going to decay no matter what. Okay. So what I want to tell you tonight, okay, you better be willing to sweat in life. Okay. And I think comfort is good, especially as you get older. But I think apathy is bad no matter what age you are. Okay. And taking care of yourself is fame. It's fortune. Because out of self-care, everything flows. And if you ain't taking care of yourself, you're just a fucking actor on the stage. You're just a fucking dime a dozen critic that's got something to say. You're not a news channel, you're a fucking gossip channel. And so, and if you're just hustling YouTube for the dollar, look, you're just tap dancing. Okay? And that's fine. Everyone's got a different way to approach life. So that's what you got to figure out. You're creating your life. How are you going to approach life? What level of intelligence do you have? Did you create an account? You got more than a second grade intelligence. Do you have a driver's license? I see some people say they can't do something. They got a driver's license. A driver's license is a certification that you have the ability to drive. And if you can drive, you can earn an income being a delivery driver. Okay. So look, I think a lot of people are about bullshit. Okay. Don't want to be friends with them. Don't want to deal with them. But that's enough being said. I'm gonna take a hydration break. We're gonna do all live comments. Leave a comment. Click the thumbs up. You want to be a member? Click the blue join button for 33 cents a day. You can cancel at any time. Support the channel. I share with you guys. I pull the veil behind YouTube. I tell you the real stuff. Okay. And what I can tell you in life is I thank you, because also I appreciate you. Okay. All right, we're going to all live comments from the top. If I miss a comment, please rewrite it. Forgive me for being a little late. Andre Green, great to see you. Mary Todd's great to see you. ESP, hey ESP, I appreciate you. Amar, what's good, Sam? Living my best life, man. Beautiful Florida. Did what I needed to do for myself today. Woke up early, did my main job, went to the gym, walked at a beach park, met a viewer that knows me from YouTube. Fully submerged in the Atlantic Ocean. Drove up the coast. I'm ending the day on another goal in my life, which I have YouTube as a side hustle, and living my best life, and I'm thankful for that. Making the most of my good and bad days. I've cried on YouTube. I've been depressed on YouTube. I kept showing up. And so what I can tell you is the worst part about being YouTube famous is dealing with those who are very malicious, who just want to get a response out of you, who just play around games. But I know that's life. So I'm not this soft. I'm not a snowflake, guys. So, for me, I can handle it. And I can fucking, like I always tell people, I just fucking deal with it, okay? And because to me, I know what life is, okay? And I get through it and persevere. And I'm living very inspired for me. And that's all that matters, Again, you do what you got to do for you. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy your life. Adam, what's up, brother? Appreciate you. I want to be bush crash famous. Well, you got to get on your job, man. Look, I see you're not consistent with your videos, but I understand why, because you got a lot of responsibilities. You're taking care of a mother with dementia, and you're going back to your ex 3-4 times. If I was married, and if I was taking care of my mom, and if I had a main job that was paying me very little, I would not be able to be YouTube famous. I'm able to be YouTube famous because I'm single with no pets, no kids. Even when I started YouTube, I already sold my house. I was already living in my car for 6 months. Guys, and that market, living in your car and living as a nomad, when I joined 4 years ago, it hadn't peaked yet, and there was a lot of people doing it, but it wasn't as saturated as it is now. And I was like the only person doing it in the Northeast in a cold climate out of his car, and it made it a little unique. Now, guys, even a nomad's a dime a dozen on YouTube. Like, no one wants to hear about, look, I don't want to be negative. Start wherever you're at. Okay. Go over the same basic shit. Sometimes I still do that, and that's what people want. But keep making videos, even if it's about the same basic shit. Okay. But like I tell you, the reason most people are not going to be able to keep making videos is, one is they're not taking care of themselves. Two is they got too much stuff going on in their personal life. I have a lot of luxury. I don't have a lot going on in my personal life because I don't have a lot in it. Not a lot of relationships, not a lot of things. I don't own shit. Other than my mother, I really don't deal with shit. So, for everyone else, I understand why they can't be consistent. So, like there was this one guy, he was like a suburban dad from Florida. And this guy had way more viewers than me, man. Way more subscribers. He would be way more famous than me. But I think he also did drugs on the low, and I think he had a lot of family problems. So he just stopped, and he was a Trumper. And after Trump, after the whole shabacle last year, that's what I mean, guys. You can avoid politics, sex, religion. But what are you going to do in a 12-month period where the entire country shuts down and you can't talk about moving to Florida? You got to talk about politics. One is are you taking care of yourself well enough? Do you have a main job, and are you willing to deal with some tough topics? If you're not, you could probably get around it, but you're not going to be taking care of yourself well enough to get through it. And this guy, I got like double the subscribers now, double the views, double the money. This guy just stopped showing up. But like I tell you, this is what I want you to remember. If you start a job today, 4 years from today, only 20% of the people you started with will still be there. Okay. And that's the way YouTube goes. That's the way life goes. So if you remember that, you learn a lot. ESP. YouTube social, she says. I like that. Pretty much describes my approach. I'm not mad at that. Look, guys, everyone has to evaluate from their own personal situation, their own skill set, and their own willingness, how much they want to pour into YouTube. So, like I say, I've always kind of leaned into a side hustle for communication, okay? Whether it was blogging on my regular private social media, things inspirational, whether it was in the church leadership, youth stuff, whether it was my own nonprofit radio show. So it's always been, but I always wanted it to be my side hustle. I never wanted to be a full-time preacher or full-time social media person because I don't want to depend on it, because then I can't be myself. I can't come into church and say, fuck you, we're listening to DMX and I watched porn last night. I think your marriage is a piece of shit. Okay, I think you're a heathen. Okay, and we're going to end this church in 15 minutes because I want to go watch the Vikings play. You can't say that. You got to go, Rabba Shanda, and you got to go fucking, hand the collection plate around 2 times and this and that and all that. And look, guys, I'm not mocking it, but I'm just trying to say I thought of that, and I said, I don't want to be that, okay? And I also thought about YouTube. How do I want to be a YouTuber? Do I want to be a gossip channel? Do I want to be whatever channel? No, I don't. But everyone does what they do based on their ability, So I understand life. Everyone has different ability, and everyone's got to make it work. Like what Eminem say, like Will Smith doesn't have to curse in his records to get airplay, but I do, so fuck him and fuck you too. Look, everyone's got to do what they got to do, but you also remember Eminem. Look, he also ended up addicted to drugs, and he was famous, he's rich, but he paid a big price. So, but even Will Smith, what happened to Will Smith? He didn't curse, he did all positive things, but his wife cheated on him, and behind the scenes, his kids said at times he was a little bit overbearing. So if you look at deep enough in anyone's life, there's pain. Okay, if you look deep enough in anyone's channel, there's pain. There's no way you get through life without pain. All you try to do is minimize it and maximize your best days. Okay, but any of us can get put on the red table, and we can get interviewed, and we can be broken. So, when you can be broken, you look at life differently. One is there's less fear because you already know if you don't do shit, you're still going to get broken. 2 is you realize you got to take care of yourself. You got to be responsible, because if you ain't that, you're going to always depend on someone else in life. And I don't even care if you got some disability. If you're watching YouTube, if you know how to create a YouTube account, if you know how to write comments, you got some fucking abilities, okay? So, again, I still think you should get disability if you need it and you can get it. But I still don't think if you can do better, you should just fucking settle for this life where you're just going to stay in your house, you're going to fucking eat out of a can, you're going to fucking just die this destitute, deprived, shrivel up, I take a nap, I don't do shit life. Okay, fuck that, man. Might as well be dead, man. So, that's me. So that's how I'm doing. Thank you for the question. Twister, what's up, everyone? You're very positive. Sam, I really enjoyed today's upload. Thank you, man. You've been very positive. Thank you. I appreciate you guys. ESP, I would take being YouTube rich, but I don't want to be famous. Well, me too, but you can't have one without the other. Remember Kylie Jenner said she didn't want to be famous, but Kim Kardashian told her, look, well, the reason you sell your lips, not just because you got plastic surgery, your lips blew up, and she got a lot of other plastic surgery, but it's because, look, you're famous. No one would buy your lipstick if you weren't famous. So, look, am I rich off YouTube? Well, I make $2 to $3 grand a month right now that's the average of the past 6 months. Okay. My biggest month was $3,500. My lowest month was $0. So, but that's not Social Security. That's not guaranteed to me the rest of my life. That can go away next month, right? So, but look, for some people, $2,000 to $3,000 a month, that's like double their Social Security. Okay. So, however, Look, don't, look, don't, all I can tell you is you work to pay into your Social Security, okay? So when you don't work your whole life, don't be surprised when you ain't got shit in your Social Security, okay? And so you got to decide how you're going to spend your life, okay? And so, you know, a lot of things to think about in what I just said. ESP, I read that. Nublio, what's up, man? Yo, what's up, Nublio? Adam, there is a way to many bushcraft channels, but I love doing it. Well, yeah, and I apologize if I was a little rough. I didn't mean to be rough on that comment. I was trying to use the example. You got a lot of stress in your personal life. You're a very positive person. Sometimes I think you're too positive. You don't say no enough. And I think your living situation is completely unhealthy. You may need a caretaker with your parents, but that's me looking from the outside in. You know your life better than me. And you went back to your ex 3 times. So you got a lot on your plate, man. I'm praying that you don't have a stroke by the time you're 50. So to me, that's your number one priority. I think you got to get your house in order. Like what there's a scripture that says what person can be a leader in the church if their own house ain't in order. I've seen people who try it, and you know how it ends? Crash and burn. Okay, so you know it's like what person can be YouTube famous if they ain't got their own house in order? Well, you're gonna see a lot of them. You're gonna see how they end up. So and even when you're doing everything right, guys, it's a fucking crapshoot out here in life. You're just mitigating risk. Roger, Sean, what's up, man? Is YouTube controlled more by people or more by the algorithm? Well, people control the algorithm, and the algorithm leads people into their human nature. So again, you know, did the circus create deplorable entertainment, or did the people demand deplorable entertainment? So, you know, it's like the algorithm of humanity has been going on since the gladiator days. Did the king make people give the thumbs down to kill the competitor, or did the people willingly give the thumbs down? Did the people crucify Jesus because he was doing something bad, or because he was coming against conforming human thought? You know, it's like, you know, so you can go back to all the way archaic times, and it's not the algorithm to blame, it's the people. Now, again, if there's no leaders, then guys, the people go down this very negative road. We saw that in the past 4 years. When when a nation don't have leadership, it'll go extra deplorable. So what I can tell you is leadership matters, but again, you're not going to be able to be a leader if you're controlled by the money. But even if you're not controlled by the money, like Trump wasn't controlled by the money, you got to have some morals. You can't be a psychopath. You know, he was certainly a psychopath. You can't be a psychopath. You got to have empathy. You know, however, look, I'm an entertainer. Trump, I think, was a great entertainer. I love to show Apprentice at times. But if I was a politician, if I was a manager, and I've been in charge, I wouldn't be the same as if I'm a YouTuber, because there's a different etiquette. So there's different levels of responsibility in societies. For YouTube is entertainment with information. And so you take it for that. It's not policy. It's not, you know, it affects society, but in a certain pocket, right? So, you know, what I want to share with you is every relationship, including online, needs to have boundaries, okay? And everything has to have protocols. You know, like some people say, and I understand it, I don't want an HOA. I understand it. But sometimes you go in communities that don't have HOA, it's a disaster. Now, sometimes if you go in communities and the HOA is too overbearing, it's a disaster, okay? So, you know, now that building that collapsed in Miami, the HOA was trying to pass an assessment to repair the building. But the people that lived in the building didn't want to pay the assessment. They say the HOA was being overbearing. So the building collapsed on their own asking, okay? So, you know, look, it's like sometimes in life, if you give people what they want, basically what they're asking for is their life to collapse on themselves, okay? Because they don't realize, like, your life needs upkeep. You have to pay the price. So when you take a nap, it's basically saying, well, I don't want to pay an assessment because I don't think it's bad to take a nap. And that's how you end up, that's how your building collapses on your life. Because you took a nap, you ate like shit, you didn't show up, and before you know it, you know, you're living a collapsed building life, you know, not fun. And not to mock the dead, but you guys know what I mean. Hal, what's up, brother? Keep living your best life. I appreciate connecting with you on this YouTube journey. I connected with Hal probably in the past 2 years. Will I know Hal 10 years from now? Odds are no. Hopefully, maybe yes. But look, you know, like I say, I understand life. And I've learned to mature in life. I can't depend on people to encourage me. I thank God they encourage me. I hope I encourage other people. But it has to be the cherry on the top. Like, I was flirting with my girl. I tell you, one girl I met this, she a little young though. She looked like Sade. And, you know, it made me think, like, I had a home base, man. Like, you know, I would get with Sade. You know, I would be in a relationship possibly. But, you know, like, my life goes down that algorithm. Like, you know, when I was talking to her today, I'm very conscious now as a mature middle-aged man that I don't put an expectation on this girl that she has to be my emotional fulfillment, that I can still enjoy my life with or without her. I can still respect her, and she's inspiring. Like, for me, I never look down on women. I know some men, they may call it the raw end of the deal, but they ask for it too. It's every relationship takes two to tango unless you've been abducted. But for me, the one thing I get from a woman, again, but I've never been married with kids, so I can get it and leave it, is I do get inspiration, man. Like, you know, I get inspired, you know what I mean? But without putting them on a pedestal. I put them on a pedestal, ends in a disaster. But again, no pets, no kids, I ain't gonna have them. So I was conscious when I was talking to this girl today that one is, I allow it to inspire me. I nourish the conversation. I respect the conversation. But I also respect myself and know that I'm developed enough to enjoy my life by myself. And I don't depend on them like an emotional support dog. And I think there's a lot of people that are getting misled, especially with disabilities right now. They're getting these emotional support dogs. And even though that's great, it's neglecting their self-care. I see this one famous YouTube girl, I ain't gonna say her name, because she's got about almost 200,000 subs. She's probably making about $6,000 a month easy on YouTube. But she's got 3 dogs, and supposedly they're emotional support dogs. But what she learned is that you can't have all those dogs. You certainly can't be living on the road and take care of yourself well. You're going to give into addictions. You're not going to get to the gym. Every dog you have takes away from time from yourself. And even though they're carrying you emotionally, you're dying physically and you're giving into addiction and depression. Guys, you don't need an emotional support dog. You need self-care. The biggest deception that's going on right now is that an emotional support dog will solve your life. I don't give a fuck how many jackets you get for that dog. You got to get to the gym. You got to do something productive. You can't go back to addictions. You got to get in a support group. But when you need someone to watch the dog, it's like you need someone to watch your kid. Guys, having a dog is like having a kid. I know because I had a dog for 10 years. And what I can tell you is it changes your life. Okay, now it's only a 10 to 15 year commitment, but that's a lot. That's a long time. That's a lot of money. Okay. And experience it. But I also see people, they have an emotional support dog and it's suffering and they don't have the emotional stability to put the dog down because they can't bear to live without it. Now the dog's got to suffer at the end of the life because their owner is not emotionally strong enough to do a responsible thing. So, you know, there's a lot of sad things in life, man. How? Yo, Adam, forgot those other channels and make your channel the best channel. There are a lot of Nike sneakers, but Adidas still sells. Well, I appreciate the encouragement, but Adam, you got to focus on getting your house in order. Because, you know, without that, you know, look, everyone can only do what they can do, but I can't be dishonest. And I'm not even talking about YouTube, I'm talking about life. Like, people go on vacation to avoid their real life. I don't want you to do that. I want you to start to try to build your life so that you don't have to run away from your life on this overpriced vacation and come back to reality, which is harsh. You got to get your house in order. And, you know, your hobbies are great because they keep you, they give you a relief and they give you enjoyment, but they're not a foundation. You got to build your life on a foundation, which is a healthy environment, healthy habits, and healthy people. Everything else is a survival thing. It's bushcraft. It's survival. It's not thriving. You don't want to be in survival mode your whole life. It's not the way to live life. And in the first world country, if you got a mental and physical ability, if you got a driver's license, or I know a girl right now, she works, she don't have a driver license, she has epilepsy, she has seizures, she's not on disability, she goes to work, okay? And what I can tell you is she gets an Uber, she gets a friend to drive her. So, you know, and she's had seizures at her job. You know what she does? She keeps showing up. God bless her. D, hey Sam, subscribers, D, you're a positive person, still praying for your knee to heal up. Love to you. Hal, keep pushing. Don't be scared or intimidated. I love you, Hal. I appreciate you. I tell you the same thing. You've been on the job now for a month and a week. Keep pushing. I want to see you on that job 4 years from now. Okay, keep doing it. Amar, consistency for the win in all things, 100, and the grace of God. Unless it's consistent bad habits, 100. I totally agree. ESP, you were definitely the only car life YouTuber living in a cold climate. Yeah, I think that was my niche and my gift of communication, the two, and some gay guys that wanted to get with me and some ugly chicks. That helped the algorithm. That's why I started watching you. I appreciate that you live in Alaska. I was wondering, who is this crazy guy? That's me. Living in his car in the winter. That was me. Sam, hardcore nomad. That's true. Thank you very much. ESP, you've been with me a long time. I respect you. You know that. And I think highly of you. Just like I do, I try to treat everyone with that, but I got love for you, ESP. You've been a long time with me. Mar, Church of the All-Night Gas Station, as real as the church has ever been. Yeah, and I'm able to pull from my 10 years experience in the church. I'm able to pull from my probably 10 years experience dabbling in the street and just living life. And my other 20 years experience in the workforce and, life. So you pull from everything. Your testimony is your greatest gift. Your ability to structure your life and be consistent is the way you harness your gift. Because you can have a gift, but you have to use your gift. You can be given a gift card, but you have to use it responsibly. Like I said, guys, if you have a talent and you don't use it, hey, your talent you'll lose. Anything you don't use, you lose. If you don't use your muscles deteriorate. If you don't use your libido, your sex drive deteriorates. So, whatever you don't use, you lose. And as you get old, you lose everything anyway. So like I say, guys, I don't think you should be hitting the road in your 70s. Why? Because you're about to lose everything. Time you get into your 80s, guys, serious decline. When you're in your 90s, you're less than 1% of society. If you make it to 100, you're in the Guinness Book of World Records. So, the cycle of life is from 0 to 20. You're pretty much 0 to 18. You're pretty much living under someone else's control, and you're getting taught the basics of life. From 18 to 30, you're developing yourself and establishing some life, long-term habits and career foundation. From 30 to 60 is the heart of your life. Okay, from 60 to 90 is the end of your life, okay? And that's life. Okay, so you can still do great things when you're 70. You can still do great things when you're 10. Okay, but there's cycles. There's seasonality. There's science. Guys, there's analytics. Every YouTube creator, what's it like being a YouTube creator? Well, you have a separate part of your private YouTube account that shows analytics. It shows all data about who your viewers are, their age demographic, how long they watch your videos, what countries they watch from, etc. And so the whole point of that analytic page is to study the data and focus your content on what the data shows works. Okay. Now, you don't have to. You can always go against the grain, and most of the time I do. I don't make videos based on my analytics, but it's still something to be relevant. Okay. I mainly look at the bottom line, but I still look at the analytics. So the bottom line, look, guys, 4 years on YouTube, 6 million views, 23,000 subscribers. I average right now $2,000 to $3,000 a month, but it's on a monthly basis. It's like being a stripper. It's like, yeah, I've been a stripper for past 3 months. I made $2,000 to $3,000 a month. Okay, but if you stop stripping tomorrow, guys, your money goes away. So, it's different. Okay, so you have to remember that in life, and share out of your abundance, share out of your self-control, out of your self-care. But look, I want to end on this. Sometimes I'm a little bit direct or very direct. And I know that it may hurt people on the other end of this. There's only so much I can do about it, because if I filter it too much, then I can't paint how I want to paint. And that's the whole reason of me doing the side hustle. I could do side work as an electrician and make more money and be less famous, and I'd be fine with that, but I don't like working on my hands. I more enjoy YouTube. Okay, so I trade off some of my privacy for the ability to do the hustle that I'm doing on YouTube. Okay, so I'm being direct not to hurt you. Okay. I do filter some of the things I say. Because I don't believe you want to be totally without a filter. Like if you ever try to have coffee without a filter, you're going to be very unhealthy. You don't want to have something without a filter. You want a filter. However, I don't want to filter everything where I water down the message and I can't give you what I want to share with you. My message is I want you to get your house in order. I want you to do your side hustles out of your abundance. I want you to live below your means so that you can live up to your potential, not live in poverty. I want you to hit the road so you can find the areas that inspire you. Okay. I want you to separate from toxic people so they don't pollute you. Okay. I want you to be confident enough, okay, to walk around, okay, with one tit bigger than the other, a wide ass, okay, a small penis or hair that's falling out. I want you to get plastic surgery if you really need it, but I don't want you to become obsessed with it. Okay. And tattoos could be considered plastic surgery, so I got tattoos. I understand life. I want you to develop yourself. Okay. Okay. Because I really, look, I hope YouTube continues to grow. The girl that I saw today, she said, one of the girls, she said, Sam, do you think your YouTube channel will go to 50K? I said, yeah, I think it'll eventually go over 100K. But to me, I also know it can end tomorrow. So all my hope is not in YouTube. You'll be very disappointed in life. And just like I tell you, the other girl I was talking to that I liked that looked like Sade, I was very conscious to check myself like, Sam, you don't put all your hope in anyone, right? You know, I remember the mistakes of my past relationships. Some of them, I put all my hope in that person. And some of the other relationships, they put all their hope in me. Very unhealthy. So, guys, it all comes down to self-care, okay? Everything else is cherry on top. And if you're willing to put effort into your life, you always find something to do to make money in a first world country. You pretty much have to sleep late and take a nap every day and do drugs and be unreliable to be destitute. Pretty much. Okay. So, and there's people doing it, and I understand it, and I don't judge them. Great people. Some of them been members. But, guys, look, I'm in a fight, okay, for my best life. And that means a lot of body blows, okay, and an occasional uppercut when I see an opening, okay. And that means defense too. You don't just leave your jaw open and get cracked every time there's a troll, okay. That means blocking, okay. That means boundaries with family members, friends, and anyone else, okay. So fame, you don't want to end up like Michael Jackson. You don't want to end up like Donald Trump. You don't want to end up, you don't want fame and fortune to give you a platform for self-destruction. You want fame and fortune to be cherry on the top out of your abundance with a message that even though it's going to be imperfect because you're a human, it still has a powerful, underlining, wholesome message. And at the end of the day, that's what I feel my channel has after 4 years. And I'm thankful for all those who supported along the way. And I'm sorry again for those who have been hurt along the way. I apologize to you. I mean, I can only change so much, but I can still admit that there's definitely been times I'm sure I've hurt or let people down. So, that's my message tonight. And I hope that helped you in some way. D says, what would play you in a movie? Who would play me in a movie? Well, I remember this chick. I was in actually a prostitution spot. It wasn't even a strip club. It was this place in Newark, New Jersey. We went after the strip club. It was like a whorehouse. It was in a bad neighborhood. You had to there was like 3 points of entry. And the first point of entry on the bottom level, there was undercover cops, dirty cops, and they would video camera you to get in the whorehouse to admit on camera that you were not an undercover cop. Then you go into the hoe house, and I'm saying all that to say that I'm with this stripper in the middle of this horrible neighborhood in Newark, New Jersey. And she's not a stripper, she's a prostitute, but it's like a strip club prostitution spot. And I'm with her on the couch, and she says, you remind me of Sean Penn. Okay. So I guess Sean Penn would play me. I think I look better than Sean Penn. I had to Google it. I didn't even know who it was. So, but who would play me in a movie? I don't know. It'd be a John B, maybe the R&B singer. Something like that. I would say John B or Sean Penn come to mind. I don't know. Yeah, I would say probably John B over. I would say John B, the R&B singer, because I think Sean Penn too old to play me now. So me and John B probably around the same age. I would say John B, the R&B singer. Yeah, that'll probably work out good. Next comment. D. In the next Nomad movie. Now, what that Nomad movie I think was a scam. Look, I think Bob Wells, he gave a lot of good information. I respect him. But I think, look, guys, I think he's telling people who have either disabilities or are very elderly to live a life that eventually they're not going to want to live or be able to live. And what's his answer then? You should go see a social worker to get subsidized housing, food stamps, or whatever if you are totally disabled and you're a senior citizen, because your body is eventually going to give out. You're not going to want to drive. You can't drive. But if you're disabled and you're middle age and you have a driver's license, if you don't want to work the rest of your life, you're just figuring out how to live in poverty. So Bob Wells, I respect him, and he's done probably a lot of great things, including for me. But I'm not really a fan of the Nomadland movie. I'm not really a fan of his overall philosophy. However, I say that with pause. I think he's probably helped a lot of people. He's helped me. So, I have a give and a take. I have to show respect to him in that movie and that movement because it's helped me. It's helped a lot of people. It gives people hope and it gives people information. But I also can't say I fully agree with that mindset. But it's okay to have different people that show respect. So I know I talk bluntly, but I respect the good that Bob Wells does. Okay. And period. And so you can respect that, but still disagree with that and do your own thing. And I'm sure people feel the same way about me. Amar, only one Sam. Well, I appreciate that. Love to you, Amar. Charles, the church of the all-night gas station. Fire emoji. Yeah, don't start smoking in the gas station, even though some people do. Charles, I love you, brother. You've been very positive. Keep doing your thing, man. I'm very proud of you on your journey of early retirement and just life in general, living your best life. D, in the house of Sam. Well, I appreciate you, D. Praying for your leg to recover. Charles, if you get famous without being authentically you, it'll feel like hell. Yeah, then you'll be trapped in a character you create. Now, again, in real life, guys, I have my moments I'm exactly like I am on YouTube. But obviously, if you see me in public, I'm not ranting and raving. I'm kind of minding my business. I'm dipping and dodging. I'm just in the cut. So, this hour or so at night or my videos, they're a moment in time for me to get out. Most of the time, I'm by myself. I'm very to myself. I have the ability to be social. I know how to deal with people. But as I get older, I prefer to be by myself and in the cut. So, so even YouTube a little bit YouTube is one layer of yourself. It's not your complete self, but it is a layer of yourself. You can't fake it. You can fake it, but people can tell that. So all humans have different layers, and that's called not being two-faced, but being dynamic. Now, there's people who are straight two-faced. They're manipulative and hurtful, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about being multidimensional. Amar, a lot of good emojis. Amen. Meditation. Palm tree. Ooh, hot. Florida life. Gas station. I love you, Amar. Savat, what's up, brother? Shout out to all my truck drivers. Shout out to Jacksonville, New Jersey. Not Jacksonville, Florida. I'm sorry. Savat, you're living a dream, brother. The next dimension is to come to South Florida. I love you. I'm so proud of you on your journey, man. I thank you for everything. Even if I don't know you 4 years from now, Savat, it's been a hell of a ride. And we've done some great things together. And I appreciate you, respect you. D, I think more and more people are going to be living on the road. I disagree. It's a lot cheaper than average rent. I disagree. Rent is a lot cheaper. And if you're in poverty, you get subsidized rent. So it's even cheaper. Living on the road costs more. It's less safe. It's more volatile. And you're not going to get a subsidy. So that's a total lie. And that's why I blame Bob Wells. Guys, living on the road is not cheaper. It's more expensive. And it's less comfortable and it's more volatile. And again, if you're in poverty where you can't even afford rent, you get subsidies. So why would you want to avoid, why would you not want to get subsidies, live on the road? So, I totally disagree with that. For young people, well, even for young people, I think it's a trap. I think young people got to head up on me because there's more technology to work remote, which guys working remote 20 years ago was 1% of society. Now I would say about 40 to 50% of society could work remote. So it's true, but when you're young, you got to build up and you got to stay stationary a little bit to build up some of your career. When you're middle-aged, guys, being on the roads for the middle-aged, again, based on that video that I did today, it's like that's when you're in tune with yourself. But let's be honest, most people who are middle-aged, they have a family. So that's why most people, they get on the road when they're retired. And then most people who are on the road when they retire, they're off the road within 5 years because they saw everything they want to see and they get too old to be on the road. And that's why, like, look, living on the road is a great experience, but it's an experience. It's not a destination. So, destination is, look, you could say nothing is a destination. This whole life's temporary. That's true. But again, I go back to look, D got D's legs broken. Like if you break your leg as a nomad, yeah, you could force a drive, but you ain't gonna be crawling in the back of your car or sleeping. You kill yourself. So, even now, I'm looking for a home base. Why? Because I got to mitigate some of my risk. It doesn't make sense to stay. And I could probably stay on the road as long as my health maintains for another 20 years without any issue. But I'm going to balance things out as long as I can find the right opportunity. I love you, D. I appreciate you. I'm praying for your leg. Savat. Bought a new car. I'll be coming to see South Florida this weekend. Well, there you go. Change your life, man. Once you get south of Vero Beach, you're in the Gulf Stream. Once you're in the Gulf Stream, you're in a whole nother dimension, okay? The palm trees are more lush. The women are more exotic. And the money bag is better, okay? So what I can tell you is this, man. Once you go South Florida, you never go back. And if you go back because you can't afford it. And if you can't afford it, you're going to basically saying you're living in a cheap land, not because you want to live there, because that's all you can afford. And if that's the way you're living, then you got to ask yourself two things. Are you living above your means, or are you not working enough? And, those questions will be the answers of your life. Savat, I can't wait. I can't wait till you tell me. Savat, I'll tell you right now, I don't know if you own or rent, but I'll tell you right now, after coming to South Florida, you don't go back to Jacksonville, okay? You go into another dimension. Now, there's bad parts of South Florida, so be careful. But if you drive up and down the coast long enough, you'll find the good parts. And when you find the good parts, you're going to realize why they're better. And you're going to realize they may even cost a little bit more, but there's some cheaper ones. I'm going to make a video about a cheaper house tomorrow, about 100 grand. $2.99 super chat. Shout out to Rod Share Sean. Get that side gig economy money. $2.99. Thumbs up to you. Appreciation, respect. I'll tell you right now, every time you get a DoorDash delivery, hit accept. Why? I saw today, even though I haven't done DoorDash in a year, they said that they're going to change the base pay. They're actually going to give you less if the drop-off is closer and more if the drop-off is further. They're going to base it more on mileage. But bottom line is my algorithm for success with the gig economy is accept 90% of the offers. Why? Because it's like any other company. The more you show up for that company, the more they're going to put you in the algorithm of success. YouTube's the same way. The more you upload consistently, the more YouTube recommends your channel to other people. Why? Because you're consistent. They can depend on you to make videos. The more you accept, I guarantee you, DoorDash or Uber algorithm is that this person has a high acceptance. They're a reliable worker. We're going to give them more and better offers over time. So, guys, people try to avoid that and they cherry pick. Everyone who cherry picks, they have a YouTube channel about cherry picking delivery orders, and they're going to be fucking destitute with a service dog. And I seen one guy do it. He hustling backwards, man. And what I could tell you is, guys, you know what happens when you do that manipulative shit? You end up with a jacket on you, but it ain't a service dog jacket. It's a mental institution jacket. You know what I mean? With a low money bag. Easy. Thank you, Rod says Sean. D. Sam, you live the experience. Thank you, D. A lot of people want to have that also. I respect that, but I only enjoyed this experience because I did it responsibly. Okay? I didn't start making videos about living in my car until I was doing it for 6 months and stable. I didn't start living in my car without a financial plan, an emotional plan, and good habits. I researched it for years. I put in the work, and then I made videos about it. So if someone wants to have my experience, they got to do it the way I did it, or they can't say they want to have my experience. My experience is work since you were 17, take promotions, work in a ditch, do side hustles, have a nonprofit, do ministry for free, do videos for free, okay? Have a mortgage for 15 years, do side work. Then sell your house middle age, keep a job, and then live in your car for 6 months because you want to, not because you want to have a YouTube channel about it. Okay. Then stay in your car in New Jersey for 2 winters, and that'll make your YouTube channel go bigger. Keep a job. Keep making videos every day, and you're not getting paid. Then after your 3rd year doing YouTube, you'll be monetized, getting minimum wage. keep making videos, keep doing your main job, travel. Then there's going to be a pandemic. You're not going to be able to take a shower in Planet Fitness. You're going to have to go to gas stations and pay $10. Where was Bob Wells when you were paying $10, $15 for truck stop gas stations during a pandemic? Where were all the elderly people? I'll tell you where they were, crying the blues. Where was Bob Wells? Guys, he got enough money to do what I do, stay at a hotel without even blinking a fucking eye. Okay, so if you want to live my experience, you got to pay the price. If you want to just get in your car and live cheap, you got to get a can and eat out of it, okay? Because there's a different way to live different lives, but no one should try to be me. The person I watched is not me. The person I watched was camping out of their Prius. They have a different political theology. They have a different life theology. They have a different age demographic. But I took the good I could take from them and I applied my own life. People should do the same with me. Take the good you can take from me, put your own twist on it. You can never avoid the work of your life. And if you do that, you'll figure it out, but you're going to cry. You're going to be in your car during freezing temperatures, okay? You're going to go through depression. You're going to go through lockdowns. You're going to go through sickness. You're going to go through ups and downs. You don't avoid life by living in your car. You avoid having a shelter. You may avoid some expenses, but you trade them for more and you make yourself more vulnerable. So I want to tell you in life that your experience is always going to be the mathematical algorithm equation. Here's the algorithm of life. You get what you put into it. And the more you put into it, the luckier you get, the more you get recommended for success. But if you put nothing into your life, the less you get recommended for success. And if you do nothing with your life, whatever talents you had, they'll be taken away from you and given to someone else. Whatever views you had, they'll be taken away from you and given to someone else. And that's my experience. Love to D. I love you. Right, Sean. Keep up the good work. Thank you for the love and support. Zach, Diamond Rewards gets you free showers all month at Love's. Yeah, but you pay a price for that, right? Like how many, it's like being a Diamond member at a casino. How much money do you have to lose to get a free shower? You'd be better, now if you're a truck driver, it makes sense. But if you're just a regular Nomad, to be a Diamond member, you're paying a price. You're going to that truck stop. Your life is orbiting around that truck stop. It's like being a Thousand Trails camping member. Like it's benefit because it's cheap, but now you got to go wherever there's Thousand Trails memberships. That's not living a free life. Now you're attached to Lowe's. That's your campground. So if you want to live free where you can be in the nice parts of Florida, or you can be anywhere where there's no Love's truck stops, you can't do that if you're a Diamond Club member, depending on those free showers. You're married to Lowe's. That's your landlord. And in order for you to get a free shower, you need to stay by Lowe's gas stations. Nah, that's the banana and tailpipe. Now, again, if you're already going to be by the Lowe's gas station no matter what, and you use it, it makes sense. But don't fall for the, I'll give you 10% off if you spend 90%. Don't do it. Zach, congrats on 4 years, brother. Love to you. Cheers, 4 more. I appreciate that. Thank you. Savat, hats off to you, Sam. Hats off to you. Guys, I respect everyone. I appreciate everyone. I know everyone will not be with me for another 4 years. You don't have to be. I'm not entitled to your love and support. And I know you may still love me even though you don't support me. There's no manipulation here. What there is a guy showing you 4 years of his life at a certain level. There's more levels. And I won't keep living this same life. I'll evolve. I'll change. And so will you. Before this moment in time, at the end of the day, the message is about take care of yourself well. You can't do that if you're in toxic relationships or with bad habits, whether you live in a car, house, or an apartment. It doesn't matter if you're famous or private. If you're living below your potential, it doesn't matter if you're living below your means. You'll always be miserable. Because at the end of the day, if you don't put any demand on your life, you always feel bad about yourself. You say, well, I figured out how to live on $900 a month, and I don't have to live in my apartment. I could just stay, I watch movies. Yeah, guys, if you're not depressed, if you're happy, fuck it, live your life. But what I found is most people are depressed. Look, I still have moments of depression. But guys, I also have moments of great inspiration. You pay a price. So diesel at Love's is always 40 cents more than truck stops. I fuel, Savat was a truck driver, or maybe still is. 150 gallons every other day. I save on average $70 by not fueling at Love's. Showers are $12. Well, yeah, I'll take Savat's word, and even Zach's. I don't know. I'm not a truck driver, but I spend time at Lowe's. But yeah, they're not convenient to me. But thank you, Savat, for your experience. Cal, $1.99 super chat. Serious question. How do nomads get mail? Serious answer. There's tons of videos on YouTube. All you have to do is Google it, because every state is different. And the easy answer is, look, you're going to give a relative's address that you live with. Another answer is there's mail forwarding companies that give you domicile addresses. The third answer is you buy property. There's three answers, and there's YouTube videos explaining how. Number one is you say you live with someone and you use their address. Number two is there's mail forwarding services and you use them for a domicile address, but you have to address that. Every state has different laws. That's why you got to look into the YouTube videos about the different laws, different states. Number three is you buy property that's your own base. Those are the basic answers. Hopefully that helped. Thank you. D, I've been watching your videos from the beginning, and I've seen your growth as a human being. Well, thank you. That means a lot to me. I don't take that for granted. I'm not perfect. But look, I put a lot of effort into trying to be the best I can, trying to grow. I feel bad when I fail because I know I do fail. And I fail sometimes right in front of your eyes. But I try my best to be my best. That's not an accident, you know, and I appreciate you recognizing that. That's a huge compliment to me. Like, you know, when my manager told me, Sam, I know you'll figure it out because you know how to adapt. That was a compliment. Like for me, guys, like, you know, yeah, it's nice someone says you're cute. But to me, a compliment is like, I see you put a lot of work into your life. I see your growth. Man, that's a compliment. Because I do. You know, again, the grace of God, I recognize everyone has different abilities and different gifts. So I certainly do not say that everyone needs to be the same way. Everyone has different abilities and gifts. But I say whatever you have, you got to make the most of it because you can't fake that. And I can't fake the fact that, guys, I try. And again, sometimes I fail, but I try to get the most out of my talents, my life, and I try to do things in order. I try to do the research. I try to do the work to get to a better place, whether it's a physical location, Florida, whether it's a career job, whether it's a side job, whether it's financial freedom, whether it's spiritual freedom, whether it's addressing a political issue, whether it's whatever it is, I try to persevere and to add something good, to grow. And thank you. All right. Thank you, everyone. I'll see you next one.